I paired an infinite canvas with web scraping, and what I care to share is an AI agent Buzz, which is this new application that I built out, and it allows me some really crazy capabilities. I could spin up Chromium browsers directly in a session. So, whatcha? There's a Chromium browser, and I can start to use that to automate workflows, or I can trigger a scrape, okay? So let's go and let's trigger a web scraping event. All right, I'm gonna do charts because I think that they're pretty cool, and we'll stick on topic, and we're gonna kind of talk about the Dash framework because it's something that I contribute to a lot. Hey, I'm looking to do some research where we're going to be dropping in this canvas a lot of material about the Plotly Dash ecosystem. I'd like to focus within the open source side of it and see who are the top 10 players in the space and what are the major packages and open source projects that are currently in this space. But with that, please fill out the canvas and create a solid chart to showcase everything that I have articulated. All right. So we did that, and I'm going to just move it up a little bit, and we're going to start the task, and we're going to see this in action. While this is kind of doing its thing, I'll kind of show you this other really cool thing that I've been working on, which is this Chromium browser. So we'll kind of make it bigger so you can kind of get an idea of how it works. But basically within this, I could type in any URL. So this is the application that I've been working on, which is 2Plot Media, which is going to be my distribution network, which is going to handle all of my YouTube focused stuff. And I'll press record real quick, and then I'll press interactive. And then as you can see, it changes the Chromium browser to allow me to actually click on the browser. And any click that I make on the browser, it reflects in the timeline at the bottom. So basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a set of scheduled timeline events that I would like to imitate and create a screenshot of what is happening, or just a replayable event to have on the canvas. So with that, we'll switch over to dark mode because dark mode is the best mode, and we will end this recording. But with that, I'll save that to the canvas, and it is perfect timing. So while that is actually going off, we will go back to our initial start where we were talking about, Plotly Dash and the major players in this space. So here it is. Oh, is this me? No way. So I show up on, I guess, the timeline. So this is the timeline. I can play it real quick because it kind of grabs a few images and it tries to take some screenshots of some of the interesting things that it found. And hey, I am honored that it found my video, and that's the one to show. There's no bias on that one. But with that, it has a bunch of other really interactive articles. So this is an actual website here that I can kind of dive into. And if I wanted to click on anything, it would actually go to it. And each one of these are markdown files to kind of have more project knowledge on this space. But we can see that pip install Python, I am mentioned in this, but there's also a lot of other key players in this. And let's kind of have a look at this. So Dash itself, of course, they're going to be the biggest player. And then you see Dash Bootstrap components, Dash data tables, and then some of the other major Dash projects. And then as far as the top open source players, it's going, main time components is in there as well. And this all makes sense. From an initial scope, this is how this is done. And this one also finished because I finished that recording. If you remember, we just created that recording, and I will go back and I'll press play, and it will go through the timeline of what we just did. So this is the start of what is the canvas. And this is what I'm so excited to share with you, because each one of these canvases, whenever you actually go out to export it, right? So it creates a thumbnail of everything that's on the canvas. So it just created that. All right. Then I can describe it in any way I'd like. And then I could basically provide an AI link associated with the canvas. So not only am I creating this useful canvas that I can just drop anything into, and when I mean that you can drop anything into it, I mean actually, I'll grab my pretty little face over here. How about that? But yeah, you could drop images in here. You can drop videos directly in here. This is once it actually downloads. But yeah, so it's that simple to just kind of use this as a bucket and as a creative tool to kind of go down scraping and research and just trying to create these canvases in useful ways so that they could be referable and larger projects and other work. And with that, once you kind of get a workflow together and you're like, all right, I kind of like a few of these, but I don't like all of them, right? And if you want to kind of build it out further, well, you can go into the batch AI. The batch AI is a tab which allows me to basically go over to the selector, and I could select individual things that I thought were useful. And I'm like, hey, I want you to build this out further, create a markdown file on these few specifically, and then go into, maybe a PDF or other different exports that I've started to configure into this project. So with that, I know that this is a mouthful. I won't keep you much longer, but I hope that you can kind of see why the workflow and trying to establish, the tools that support your work is the most vital thing that you could be doing right now. And what I would be recommending for those hardcore developers is to go the Ironman route and build everything in source. And you know what? It's going to take time to understand everything, but it's going to pay off in dividends. And you know what? It's a lot faster and easier to get started than before. So with that, I hope you liked and enjoyed this. And if you did, jump on, check it out, create your own canvases. Let me know what you think, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever. Comment down below and let me know. But yeah, with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.